Let me tell you something that sounds like a joke, but it's actually real. There's a political party in the UK that is saying that if your country asks the UK for slavery reparations, that you should never be allowed to get a UK visa ever again. Be it study, work, or even visa, any kind of visa at all. They're planning to ban people from these countries from entering the UK, basically. Yes, guys, you heard me right. So if you're from Nigeria, Ghana, Jamaica, or anywhere in the Caribbean, this conversation affects you directly. So stay with me. Let's find out exactly what's going on, why this party is making such proposal, and how this affects migrants. My name is Tochi. You're welcome to my channel. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up as you're watching so YouTube can recommend it to more people, and kindly share it to everyone that needs to hear this. To all my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. You're welcome back to today's video. If you're yet to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button right now. Thank you. So guys, it's everywhere on the news, BBC, Guardian. I don't even know the one that we should look at, but anyway, let's just pick one and go through it. It says that Reform UK would stop visas for people from countries seeking slavery reparation. Reform UK would stop issuing visas to people from any country that continues to demand compensation from the UK for its role in the transatlantic trade in enslaved people, the party have said. Now, in simple terms, slavery reparations simply means compensation, okay? I'm sure a lot of us already know the story, the history, we have heard it, even read about it. So for countries that have demanded compensation or that are still demanding compensation from the UK as a result of this slavery, this party is proposing that if these countries continue to do that, then they should just ban them from coming to the UK, because the UK has already paid enough for this, okay? So why punish us twice when we have paid enough for our sins, if that makes sense? So this compensation could be in form of money, investment, or support given to countries or people because of the damage caused by this slavery, you know. And guys, if we look at it very well, when these countries are asking for compensation, would you blame them? I want to hear what you guys think, because it's a very important topic. Because like I said, a lot of us would have heard or read about everything that went down, right? For so many years, Africans, these countries were captured, sold, transported across different continents, across different countries, made to labor and work with no pay. And guess what, guys? Countries like Britain made so much wealth from this system, you know, until eventually slavery was abolished, and they also tried to pay off slave owners, compensated them and everything. But the slaves themselves, nothing actually went to them. So countries like Nigeria, Ghana, Jamaica, countries that were affected basically, are just saying, look at it, there's still the impact of this system is still visible today. You know, lack of infrastructure, poverty, general damage. You know, these countries are generally disadvantaged. And if you're from Nigeria or from Ghana, I'm sure you can see the state of the country and you understand how everything is happening. Yes, these countries have gotten independence and all of that, but the visible impact of this slave system or this system is still very much visible today. I guess that's why it's still a topic of discussion even at this present date. So if we read you see here they're saying that the call for reparations are insulting. He claimed 3.8 million visas have been issued over the last 2 decades to people from countries calling for these reparations. So for 4 centuries, 7 European countries, including the UK, enslaved and trafficked more than 15 million Africans across the Atlantic, right? That's what I just tried to summarize for us. Historians have linked wealth from enslavement to mass industrialization in the West. I already established that some of these countries like Britain, actually made so much wealth from this slave system. You know, obviously these other countries were disadvantaged, right? Now, last month, the UN voted to describe the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity and called for reparations as a concrete step towards remedying historical wrongs. Now, quickly, before I continue, let me tell you something that nobody would tell you about getting a job in the UK, whether you want sponsorship or not. It's not always about your qualifications. It's basically about your experience. The UK job market is an experience-based market. So you can have your degree, qualifications, or even skills. But the moment UK employers don't see the required experience in your CV, that's where rejection starts. And the painful part is nobody would actually tell you how to get that experience. You have to figure it out yourself, but not me. And that is why the moment I came across Amdari that can help you, I decided to share it with you. And a lot of my subscribers and followers have benefited from Amdari. So Amdari is a UK-based career accelerator created by immigrants like you, like me, who have actually experienced what it means to get job rejections, what it means for UK employers to say, oh, we're not giving you this job because you don't have the required experience, who have seen it all, and they had to create something to help people like us, to help everybody basically get it right. So in these, their design programs, you will get the experience that you need to get a job. You work on real life business projects. They'll help you build solid project portfolios. You get mentorship from professionals. They'll also help you structure your CV to standard. And not only that, they will guide you with job search, give you access to companies that sponsor visas. They will help you optimize your LinkedIn and even prepare you for interviews. I'm going to leave the details of how you can contact Amdari in the description of this video. You can also join their free classes. You can ask them questions, clarifications on how to go about it. You know, they're basically there to help you get the experience that you need to get a tech job in the UK or anywhere in the world. So now back to the video. Yeah, they're actually calling for a concrete step towards remedying historical wrongs. Okay, so they're asking for financial compensation, investment in education and healthcare, and they're even calling for official apology from countries like the UK, you know, for the wrongdoings and all the disadvantages and the effects that this system has had on these countries affected. But the UK, or let's say this particular political party, the Reform Party, it's not having it. That's because why should you even ask for it? Why should you even mention it after everything the UK has done? That's what they're saying. So the landmark resolutions was backed by the African Union and the Caribbean Community, CARICOM. It had been proposed by Ghana's President John Dramani Mahama, who said, "Let it be recorded that when history beckoned, we did what was right for the memory of millions who suffered the indignity of slavery." A growing number of countries are demanding reparations from Britain. These countries ignore the fact that Britain made huge sacrifices to be the first major power to outlaw slavery and enforce this prohibition. He said the bank is closed and the door is locked for anyone who wanted to use history as a weapon to drain our treasury. They also say that the United Kingdom is not an ATM for ethnic grievances of the past, and we will no longer tolerate being ridiculed on the world stage, he continued. While countries like Jamaica, Nigeria, and Ghana ramp up their demands for reparations, the Westminster establishment has rewarded them. Enough is enough. Reform UK has previously pledged to scrap international aid for countries demanding this. Now, if you continue reading, if you take your time, this is a very interesting read. You can, you know, go back to history, read up exactly what happened with the slave trade, slavery. We learned that secondary school, from primary school, secondary school in Nigeria. If you also written your life in the UK test, you would have also come across it as well. And a lot of movies have actually been made around this topic as well. You need to maybe go back and watch a movie or read a story, a book about it. It was, oh my goodness, like human beings treated that way. It was a no-no. Even though it's a thing of the past now, but like these countries are saying, the result or the impact is still showing till date. The UK on their own part is saying that they've actually paid enough for this. Also, they mentioned that in 2023, there was a report on reparations for the transatlantic slave trade written and compiled by Patrick Robinson, a former judge of the International Court of Justice. He concluded the UK alone should pay this amount of money, $24 trillion. Wow. as reparations for transatlantic slavery in 14 countries. So this is, why the UK is not even having it. Like, you're saying that you want to break the UK treasury by demanding this outrageous amount of money. So some people are also calling for the UK and these countries to have a mutually beneficial strategies, something that would benefit all the countries affected, a mutually beneficial restorative justice program, instead of just letting it go and saying, oh, we've paid enough, and just saying we're going to ban these people from these countries from coming to the UK, all of that, which will not actually solve the problem. Imagine banning the whole of Nigerians, the whole of, Jamaicans, the whole of Ghanaians, and so many other countries from coming to the UK, even from visiting. How would that solve the problem? You get what I mean? So they're saying that instead of this approach, they should actually try to see if they can reach an understanding or, reach a mutually beneficial agreement that will benefit everybody. Guys, this is exactly what's going on. This is from Guardian. If you also read from BBC, so some of the countries that were named includes Barbados, Jamaica, Nigeria, and the UN resolutions proposer Ghana. And Reform have said from this point, should any country formally demand reparations from Britain, then a future Reform government would respond by immediately halting the issuance of new visas to their nationals. Our Home Office spokesman said countries seeking reparations ignore the fact that Britain made huge sacrifices to be the first major power to outlaw slavery and enforce this prohibition. Caribbean Community, a grouping of 21 countries, issued its 10-point plan for reparatory justice more than a decade ago. And they're asking for full formal apology, cancelling foreign debt, and investment to tackle illiteracy and public health issues. So this is exactly what is going on and the details of what this proposal is all about. Like I explained at the beginning of the video, I'm going to try to, summarize what's going on, explain it for everyone to understand. But it's also okay to go read it up about yourself. It's an interesting read, actually. It can even help you go back to history and study what went wrong, what happened during the slave trade time, the whole slavery system and everything. You would want to read more about it. Maybe you understand and appreciate this topic better, and why these countries are making these demands, and also why the UK is responding this way. And this is just a proposal from the Reform. The Reform is obviously not in power at the moment, okay? It's a party that wishes to come into power someday, and they're saying if they come into power, these are some of the things they are going to do to these countries that are asking for these reparations, you get. So now the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, said there has been no discussions about money at the meeting, and that the UK is very clear in its position that it would not pay reparations. Okay, so this is it at the moment. I want to hear what you guys think about this in the comment section. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.